people out there, what's going on? Back at it again for you guys with a good video. This is my it's gonna be my 6-month review of TRANSAM and what's the next move. Am I planning to stay or am I leaving? What's gonna happen next? I'm gonna get into it like this and start by saying TRANSAM, is it a good company or is it a bad company? Before I came to TRANSAM, I read a lot of reviews online, watched a lot of videos, seeing what other drivers were saying about TRANSAM. And most of it, for the most part, wasn't positive. You know what I mean? But I had issues finding a company that was going to give me a start because I lived in Florida. You know, and a lot of companies don't really hire out of Florida for new CDL drivers and all of that. You have to have experience in most cases. So TRANSAM decided to give me a start, and I went ahead with them. Now I've been working here for 6 months. Today actually makes 6 months because today is the 5th. I'm going to give you guys a basic rundown of how things work here, what I think about the company and all that. It's not as bad as the drivers let it seem, you know, in the negative reviews. Let me just say that. I guess it all depends on the individual and their experience. And I mean, there's been times where, to be honest, it's like trying. You know what I mean? There's a couple of things that you go through here it will discourage you sometimes. But if you really stick it out and, you know, realize how everything works, like if you get used to it, you'll be fine. One of those things are the relays. When I had just started the first 2 months, I never used to get relay. I got like relay maybe once or twice. And when I just started, I stayed out for like 2.5 months. You know what I mean? So, and I never did a lot of relays. After I came back off home time, that's when I started doing relays, and then it got really annoying because like almost every load I had, they would relay it off me. Sometimes it would benefit me, sometimes in most cases it wouldn't. They were stopping me in the middle of my roads, all of that. I won't go too much into that, because I've done videos on that, what you need to know before you come to TRANSAM. That basically explains and show you how the relays work. I had one about service failures and it accidentally deleted and I don't have the video anymore. But yeah, relays. I didn't like the whole relay thing, but this is where a relay comes in handy. If you're running out of time, TRANSAM priority is to get the load there on time, no matter what. So basically, they gonna do whatever they gotta do to get the load there at the delivery time. So they're gonna either relay that load off you, but in some cases, it doesn't even. They're just doing like a favor to a lease driver to give them the miles. So sometimes you sit for the entire day. By the time you get the load, you drive 200 miles out the load, and then they eventually take the load off you. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is the because I don't want to make this too long. Home time. It's not, and I think this goes for most trucking companies. It's not a guarantee to get home on the day that you request. The way company drivers get home time is you put your request in, and when you put your request in, they approve it and they send you to that, you know, to that state or whatever. So it can be denied. They can tell you that those days are already booked, you can't get those days. Then you gotta, you know, if you have something coming up or like a family emergency or something that you need to be home for, there's no guarantee on getting you on that time, you know. And you run for 8 days, you get 2 days off. You run for 4 days, you run for 4 weeks, you get 4 days off. That's to my understanding how it works. Yeah, and other than home time, let me see. The pay is not all that, obviously. It's 31 cents a mile for new drivers, and then 32 cents a mile for experienced drivers. You know what I mean? Pay is not all that, but when you just start, you get nearly the sign-on bonus, your tuition reimbursement. It helps out. not the best, but you know what I mean, you gotta get some time in the game before you can move on to like a better paying company. You know, so you gotta get your experience up in basically equipment. These tractors, they're reliable. Not often you see TRANSAM. I think they take care of their trucks. You know what I mean? I think they take good care of their equipment. Kenworth T680s. I'm driving a 2017. That's like 432,000 miles, 731 miles on there right now, and it's broken down. When I first went on home time, I ran the thing for 2.5 months straight with no issues. When I first went on home time, on the day that I was supposed to go back out, when I started the truck, there was something wrong with one of the DEF sensors. And one time I was at a pilot, turn the truck off, and I tried turning it back on, and it wouldn't turn on. It was telling me something about the starter, but it needs to cool down. And I just sat there for like 20 minutes, and then it automatically came on. I've never seen that happen again. The trailers aren't the best, you know what I mean? And a part of that has to do with the drivers. I feel like because the pay is not that much, everybody's just trying to scrape the miles. So like if they really find the issue with the trailer, nobody's really taking like the time out to go get it fixed, because it's like some parts of it you don't really get compensated, then your clock is blown, and then you know. So I feel like that creates a chain reaction because of the pay and all that stuff, and the delay of you trying to get the equipment fixed. It, you know, it throws off everything. But the tractors are usually reliable in my opinion. Dispatch, like I said, they play games sometimes with the miles, but no, to my understanding, it's more like the planners that are doing it. You know what I mean? The planners, they control the miles and all that stuff. The dispatch, what I don't like about the dispatch, like the driver managers, my driver manager personally is awesome. You know what I mean? That's what I think of her. Her name is Chloe. You know, shorten her out. Chloe is good. I've never really had much of an issue with Chloe. But there's been instances where there haven't really been rude, but like I remember one time when I had just first home time I went on, I dropped my trailer in a parking lot. I went to the management of the parking lot, and they said, yeah, it's fine, drop it there. And so I went home. I didn't know that I couldn't disconnect. Of course the trailer wasn't loaded, the trailer was empty. If it was loaded, then I would think in my mind, leave the truck and the trailer together or whatever. You know what I mean? So I bobtailed home, which was like 2 minutes, or not even 2 minutes, like a minute basically from where the truck was parked. Bobtailed home, and then it was a DEF sensor, and when I was ready to go back out, and I called him up, told him what the situation was. So the guy asked me if I had my trailer with me. I was like, nah. He's like, where did you leave your trailer? I'm like, it's parked in the parking lot. He's like, is it secure? I'm like, yeah, it's good. I check on it, it's there. And he start like going off like, oh, you need to get in contact with your driver manager. No, why would you do that? Well, I'm like, bro, like chill out, dude. Like, it's my first time. I didn't know that I couldn't drop it. The thing, like, he got like really upset. It's almost, I would almost think like it's his trailer, you know what I mean? It's his trailer, like it's his money. That's kind of the vibe. Just got a big attitude with me, you know what I mean? So I didn't really like that. I have one more instance where this guy kind of caught the attitude. It was just my last home time, because I just came off home time. This time I dropped the trailer at the terminal in Florida, in Tampa, but they sent me a load that I was supposed to pick up back off when I'm coming back off my home time. I didn't pay attention to what it said. They wanted me to take that trailer with me home and then pick the load up an hour away from where I live, which I dropped the trailer like 240 miles away in Tampa, because it would have been obviously easier for me to do that. So I called them up when I noticed the error, because I didn't want the load to be late or not picked up, that because I basically have to drive 4 hours one way to go get the trailer, drive 4 hours back to go get the load. and then that would shorten my home time. So I called him up and I told him like, yo, listen, I made a mistake. You know what the situation was, and the guy was like, oh yeah, it's easier for you, but what about the company? I'm like, bro, come on, man, that's really not necessary. I called you and I told you that I made a mistake. Nobody's perfect, you know what I mean? Other than that, dealing with dispatch, they're not really too bad. The roads, I like the fact that we go, TransAm cover like 48 states, almost all, basically all of America. They got freight. Like, don't let them fool you, or I can tell you for a fact they got freights. I've been through 26 states in 6 months. They got freight, and which is what I'm gonna get to in a minute. If you know, with the whole freight, and if I'm gonna stay or if I'm gonna leave, what's happening. I have something interesting that I think that you guys would like. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll get to that soon. Lease versus company. Lease drivers, I feel like it's a hit or miss thing. And I think it has a big part to deal with the relationship that you guys got with them. If you're here for a long time, then you're definitely gonna get loads. If you're the type of person that makes on-time delivery, or it depends on your driver manager, if they're looking out for you, all that stuff, it has a big part to do with relationship. Because I speak to a lot of lease drivers. I know there's lease drivers here that's been working here from like 2009. There's no way they're gonna stick around that long if they're not making any money, bro. You know what I mean? So, and in most cases, because the lease payment in what they pay for the lease is not that high. So I think it's $1.03 a mile. And before, they had this training program where you could be a mentor, basically train somebody to drive, and you will get those persons miles, and you get like additional 2 or 3 cents to become a mentor. But now they don't got mentor anymore. They just train you on the terminal and put you in the truck. So that was an incentive for drivers here, and you could be a company driver and still be a mentor too. You know what I mean? But then they cut it all out. All you had to do was not get any service failures or have any drive cam events, and then you could become a mentor after 3 months of driving the truck. You could become a mentor and you get additional pay for it or whatever. They don't do it anymore. Yeah, but the lease drivers, I've met a lot of lease drivers that are saying, I know one guy in particular, we were roommates when I was in orientation. He called me up like in the 5th month, and I was asking him how everything went, and he's like, man, it is what it is. We all know, we see the reviews, what people say about the lease and and yeah, it's mostly true. He's basically at his 6 months right now, and he's leaving. He's just finishing his lease so he could get his bonus or whatever, and then he's moving on to a different company. I've met other drivers where this one dude told me one time that he's making, his paychecks are like $1,800 to $2,000 a week being a lease driver, and he's been with TransAm for 2.5 years. So I'd say he has established a relationship with them, and I'd ask him, how many miles do you run average a week? And he runs like 3,200 miles. That's his peak miles. He said normally when it gets to they kind of get Nancy, and then they want to hit him with a relay or something. You know what I mean? Because they're trying to slow him down. They don't want him to make too much miles. So if they give you 3,000 miles, bro, you're doing something right. They like you, especially if you get constantly 3,000 miles or thereabout. I can tell you that for a fact, because I was running when I started running first started running. I was doing like 2,600, 700, 2,800, 900, 2,900 miles, and I had a lease driver that was been with TransAm for a long time. He was my mentor, and he wasn't making as much miles as I was as a company driver. You know what I mean? So a big part of it is relationship and your driver manager. That's what I would say. No, this interesting thing that I said to you guys that I was going to talk to you guys about, if I'm going to stick around or am I going to leave TransAm. For right now, I'm going to stick around a little bit more. I'm at the 6-month period, and I'm going to stick around a little bit more. I can't say how long, But I will tell you guys this: I did apply for a dedicated account like 3 months ago. They just now, before I came on home time, they just now approved it, and they called me basically and told me, hey, like, the account is open and we're gonna switch you over after your home time, and this is the breakdown of what they told me. Now, everything sounds good, you know what I mean? Sounds good, but like, seeing is believing, you know what I mean? So until I start seeing some of those paychecks and seeing how the numbers make sense, then I can say, yeah, this is actually working. But for right now, I'm going to give it a shot, see how it works, and then I'm going to do a review for company versus being on a dedicated account or whatever, and let you guys know. But this is the breakdown of what they told me. It's right now I'm at 31 cents a mile. The account that they're putting me on, it starts at 40 cents a mile, right? Starts at 40 cents a mile for the first 3 months. After the first 3 months, I go up 3 more cents. So at 6 months, I'll be at 46 cents a mile, right? There's a weekly bonus that is 3 cents a mile, and basically, as long as I run every trip and I don't get a service failure on any of those, I'm not responsible for any service failure on the loads, then I get an additional 3 cents. So really, I'm starting at 43 cents, and at 6 months, I'll be at 46 cents. With that bonus, I'll be at 49 cents per mile. They guarantee me $1,000, and $1,000 gross every week. And if I fall short, let's say for instance they don't give me enough miles, and I don't make enough to gross $1,000, they will pay. They said they will pay me the difference. But it's 11 days out, so I go out for 11 days, and I get 3 full days home. Still driving my same truck. Nothing hasn't changed the speed of the truck or anything. One thing they did tell me, I thought that the dedicated account was like you only run on one Pepsi account, because they used to say that the Pepsi account that leaves from Florida and it goes to it leaves from Florida and it goes to California. I thought that's what it was. But what the lady had told me, she's like, no, you're not gonna be running on the Pepsi account to California. You're gonna be running like 48 of 49 states that they cover. She said I'm gonna be running a wider range now. So I've been through 26 states already. She's telling me now I'm gonna be running like through all 48 states. You see what I mean? The disadvantage of that is that you can't take your home time in whatever state that you want anymore. Because I was gonna go to Montana after this home time. I was gonna go skiing in Montana. That was my plans, and then they called me right before I went on home time and told me this. So basically, I no longer put home time in. I no longer put a special request in. They're just gonna route me back to Florida every 11 days, and I'm gonna be home for 3 full days. So that's the reason why I'm sticking around at TRANSAM a little bit more. I'm gonna see how it works out. If it's all BS or if it's good, then as long as the ultimate aim is to make some money. So we'll see how that works out. And it's kind of, it would be good on my resume to show that I stick around past 6 months or whatever the case is at a company. I will say this: there was a planner that commented on one of my videos, and he was basically saying he used to be a planner at TRANSAM, and yeah, it sucks to sit around for a long time for a load, and why they do it. Like, I get why they do it. Sometimes it's a priority of the load that they gotta get it there, but sometimes they do play games. Everybody knows that. You guys can go and look back on the comments. I believe it's the one where saying things you need to know before you come to TRANSAM. And last but not least, before I get to the subscribers too, I've met a couple. I don't, not to say a lot. I met a couple of guys that said they watch my videos, and they're inspired by the whole thing, and they made the move to come to TRANSAM to start their trucking career. I commend you guys for that, you know what I mean? And I'm happy that that I could motivate
New
you
message.
guys.
We have not received your paperwork for trip.
Really? I sent the paperwork in already. If you guys are watching this video and you guys are motivated, or you know, it helps you guys out in any way, shape or form, there's two things that I'm asking. Just drop a like on the video, you know, or drop your comments or your thoughts down below, as I like to listen and I like to interact with my subscribers or my viewers. You know, let me know what you guys think down below. Also, if you guys are gonna start at TRANSAM, use my truck number, which is 13916, and my name, my YouTube name is Jevaughn. Still I'm Jevaughn. Now it's $75 for a beginner driver. Like, you have no experience, you get $75. I get $75 for every referral as long as you complete orientation. Out of that $75, what I'll do, I'll give you 25. So you get cash up, I send you 25. Somebody might say, oh shit, $25